Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Games and Things. Christmas should be fun, so do your Christmas shopping at Games and Things. Man, they've got everything from big to small. Pool tables and shuffleboard tables, dartboards, new pool cues, poker sets. You can get anything from a poker set to a poker table. Small, big, you name it. Stocking stuffer or huge gift, Games and Things is the place to go. Check them out at the corner of Kingston Pike and Lovell Road. Games and Things. Okay. Tough one here, I think. Daniel Hood, Bob Hodge, Sterling Hinton, Justin Hamilton. We got coach, player, fan, former walk-on. Give me that. All right. So here's the deal. And again, everybody's going to have a different view. So I don't know that this is a straight X's and O's. You're going to come at this from different angles, which I think makes it interesting. I don't know that Tennessee beats South Carolina if Jeremy Banks plays at South Carolina. But we saw how they looked with him. And we saw last week their energy level without him. I ask you, and we don't know if Tennessee, even if they'd won at South Carolina, TCU, USC, you could have been passed and not been in the playoffs anyway. So we don't know that. But will Josh Heupel come to regret not playing Jeremy Banks at South Carolina, sticking to his guns, living up to team rules, and not playing him? Will he regret that? Take it. Who wants it?
I think the word regret is a harsh word. I don't think he'll regret it. I think he's definitely learned a lot of things of that situation.
Will he be pained by it?
Will he be pained? Hey, first of all, everybody hates losing, and everybody wants to come to a game with all their guns loaded. That's a big bullet not going into the game. But I think the players, I think the player, I think the coaching and coaching staff learned a lot about that situation for us. If it's ever presented, they will know how to handle it, even if it's less painful given the situation.
You're cavaliersing. I intentionally left him out.
Oh, okay.
Will he regret it or not?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think he'll regret it?
No.
I've tried going to games with guns loaded. They don't like it.
They don't let you.
Well, not literally.
I don't think he'll regret it. I think in the long run, your team benefits from that.
I think he will.
You think he will regret it?
I think he will regret it. And I think about, you got a kid there that is only going to get 28 days in his career to play at the University of Tennessee. And from what's come out, the thing doesn't seem that egregious.
Well, we don't know how many. We don't know.
We don't know what it is.
Was this the straw that broke the camel's back?
Right.
Or was this just he was late
And
for
that's,
practice? Or didn't
just
show up for
from
practice?
what's out there right now, to say that he needed to miss one of those 12 opportunities based upon, whether it be 1 or 2 days worth of work, I don't see that being a valid reason when you've got 353 days of when it looks like he was doing the right thing. When there was Pruitt there, when there was other people there, he was still playing hard. And so I try to take in that 1,000 days of work over it. But
Well, remember, he had issues off the field under Pruitt.
He did.
Well, he was off the team.
Yeah.
So he was off the team. Forgot about that.
In a private moment, I think you probably sit there and say, what if? What if we would have had him? No guarantees you win the game. But overall, I don't think he'll regret it, and I think he saved himself. If it was a violation of team rules that every other player on that team in the program is subject to, and that's what he was punished for, then you saved yourself a lot of further regrets. By making that one decision that I don't think he'll regret, but he'll probably say, what if, in a private moment. But you saved yourself a lot of future regrets by bending your rules for one player and what that does to a program.
And I think we've seen coaches here that did that. Go back to when you played, Derek Dooley. I just don't think that's the way you go. You got rules, live by the rules.
Well, at the end of the Fulmer era, you had, if you remember, there were 3 guys that got in trouble. The starter was sat for a quarter. The backup was sat for a half. The walk-on guy was sat for the entire game. I think it was a Tennessee-Arkansas game. Funny how that works.
Standards are standards, or they're not standards.
Right.
That's as simple as that.
And if you're Nick Saban at Alabama and you got more talent than anybody in the world, you can kind of dance around what's a rule violation and what isn't and get away with it more than I think most coaches can. I agree with you. I think that's the kind of thing that if you're sowing that seed now, someday you're going to reap it and it won't be
Well,
good.
and it's just, you can mix and match it, but kids, they smell BS. And the guys that are going to play for you are going to know what's BS and what's not.
Absolutely.
And
All
I
right.
guess my main point there is just taking away one of those 28 games, you better have done something major to do that. There's other ways to do it, whether it's extra conditioning or taking their time writing papers or doing things like that. You can have punitive actions that aren't taking away one of 5 away games this year, 1 of 12 opportunities.
If you know the law and you know the consequences of breaking the law and you're caught breaking the law, I think it becomes a different story.
yeah.
And again, we don't know.
If that's what happened,
We
if
don't-
that is in
yeah,
fact what happened.
We also don't know. I don't think it was about somebody stepping on a carpet in a shoving match
And
or
we're,
whatever.
you
I
know.
think it was you missed a team meeting or a practice when you didn't have an excuse for it. What we don't know is, was that the 10th time that happened, or was it the first time?
Right.
And I'm also too wondering if it is that, where's your teammates calling you before practice 2 hours before saying, "Hey man, are you going to be there?" Where's that accountability structure from those guys around them? Because the worst punishment I ever had at UT is when I didn't wake up my roommate for a practice, and it was miserable.
Won't regret it, but we'll think about it. Won't regret it, won't regret it, will regret it. All right, very good. When we come back, who won our Beat the House contest? Sterling's waiting on pins and needles to find out. And final thoughts on the 2022 regular season. That's next, coming back on the Sports Source.